Now let's proceed to question 31. Question 1 and begin. Now let's proceed to question 31. Question 31 is a continuation of question 30. Now if we go to question 30, we recall we found the value of angle OSN, where we said OSN is equals to ONS, which is equals to X. So let's copy, or let's just duplicate what we have here and move to the next page. Duplicate, so that will solve question 31. So if you recall, in question 30, we found X to be equals to 36 degrees. So let's apply that X is equals to 36 degrees. So wherever we see X, we say it's equals to 36 degrees, and wherever we see X is equals to 36 degrees. Now, what is question 31 saying? Question 31 is saying we should find angle SNR. That means we are looking for this angle. Let's use this, yeah, SNR, so we can call it Y. So it's very simple. All we just have to do is to consider the angle on this straight line, sum of angles on this straight line. So we have 90 degrees. We have already explained this 90 degrees in the previous video or in the previous question. And we have X to be equals to 36 degrees, and we have Y to be equals to what we're looking for. So we'll just apply that and say 90 degrees plus 36 degrees plus Y is equals to 180 degrees. Y, sum of angles on a straight line. Sum of angles on a straight line. So in view of this, we can evaluate our Y. So 90 plus 36 is 126 degrees plus Y is equals to 180 degrees. So Y is equals to 180 degrees minus 126 degrees. Y is equals to 54 degrees. Now what is Y? Y is angle SNR. So we have it to be 54 degrees, which is equivalent to option B. Now let's proceed further to WAEC 2022 objective question 32. The question says, Mrs. Gabriel is pregnant. The probability that she would give birth to a girl is 1/2. And the probability that the baby will have blue eyes is 1/4. So the probability of the baby being a girl is 1/2. This is an event on its own. And the probability of the baby of having blue eyes, we will have it given as 1/4. Now the question is, what is the probability that the baby, or that she will give birth to a girl and the girl will have blue eyes? So what is this probability? That's what we are looking for. So before we proceed, let's recall on the formula to apply. If you have probability of A, where A is an event happening, okay, let's call it X. And if you have the probability of B, B is another event virtually exclusive on A, let's call it Y. The probability that A and B will happen at the same time will be equal to the probability of A multiplied by the probability of B. So we can simply say this is XY. And in the same vein, the probability of A happening or B happening is equal to the probability of A plus the probability of B. So this will be X plus Y. So this principle of probability, let's apply it to the question. So we have the probability of the girl to be 1/2. The probability of the baby having blue eyes is 1/4. Now we are looking for the probability of the girl, of the baby being a girl, and emphasis on the eye, having blue eyes. So the results will be simple. So it will just be the probability of the girl, of the baby being the girl, multiplied by the probability of the baby having blue eyes. So simply application, this will be 1 over 2 multiplied by 1 over 4. So in view of that, we will have this to give us 1 over 8. 1 over 8 is equivalent to option D. If you are enjoying any value from this video, ensure to like and subscribe and share with your friends. Now the question 33 says the mean of a set of 10 numbers is 56. If the mean of the first 9 numbers is 55, we should find the 10th number. So now we have the mean of a set of 10 numbers, okay, to be equals to 56, and we are given that the mean of the first 9 to be equals to 55. What is the 10th number? Now, what is the formula for mean? Mean is equals to the sum, okay, divided by the number n. That means number of possible occurrence, number of the sets. Let's just use n. And some will say it is summation f of x divided by summation f, or some will just say simply summation x divided by n. So we are saying indirectly that the mean of 10 numbers, is equals to the sum of 10 numbers divided by 10. So we are saying that mean of 10 numbers is 56. So 56 is equals to sum of 10. Let's use S10 to indicate that, divided by 10. So the sum, let's use S10, okay? We're using S10 to indicate, not sum 10. So the sum of 10 numbers will be 56 multiplied by 10, and we have S10 to be equals to 560. Just as we're given the mean of 10 numbers to be 56, we're also given the mean of the first 9 numbers to be 55. So we have the mean of the first 9 numbers. First 9 numbers is equals to the sum of the first 9 numbers of the 9 numbers divided by 9. So the mean is equals to 55. So 55 is equals to the sum of the first 9, let's call it S9, divided by 9. So we can now evaluate S9, that's the sum of the first 9 numbers. S9 is equals to 55 multiplied by 9. So 55 multiplied by 9 is equals to 495. So we have the sum of 10 and also the sum of the first 9. So simple as ABC, we can evaluate the 10th number. The 10th number will be the sum of 10 minus the sum of the first 9. So that is going to give us 560 minus 495, and this is equals to 65. 65 is equivalent to option B. Remember, the formula we applied was mean is equals to the total or sum divided by the number. Question 34, objective section of Wassce 2022. The question says we should simplify 2 minus 18m squared divided by 1 plus 3m. Now, if we look closely to this question, we will see where we have to apply the difference of two squares. The difference of two squares is simply stated as a squared minus b squared is equals to a plus b multiplied by a minus b. So now let's apply that principle to this question. If we look closely to 2 minus 18 m squared, we can factorize with 2 and we'll have 1 minus 9 m squared divided by 1 plus 3m. Now it's getting clearer because now we can say 9 is 3 squared. So we are saying this will be equals to 1 minus 3 squared m squared divided by 1 plus 3m. So when it comes to 3 squared m squared, we are going to apply the law of indices. And in indices, when we have xy squared or ab squared, rather, let's use ab, we'll have it to be equated to a squared b squared. Likewise, when we have a over b squared, it will be equated to a squared divided by b squared. So in essence, what we are saying is that 3 squared m squared is going to be equal to 1 minus 3m squared divided by 1 plus 3m. So in view of this, we now have the difference of two squares. So we have 1 is equals to 1 squared. So we have 1 squared minus 3m. Now let's apply the principle of difference of two squares. So this will be our a. Let's use the globe. This will be our a, and this is our b. So let's rewrite it. A squared minus b squared is equals to a plus b multiplied by a minus b. So let's proceed further. Applying this formula, we have 2 a plus b, that's 1 plus 3m, because a is equals to 1 and b is equals to 3m, and a minus b will be 1 minus 3m, all divided by 1 plus 3m. So 1 plus 3m will nullify 1 plus 3m. This will nullify this, and we'll be left with 2 multiplied by 1 minus 3m. 2 multiplied by 1 minus 3m is equivalent to option D. So we can see when we applied the difference of two squares to be a squared minus b squared, which will be equals to a plus b multiplied by a minus b. Now moving on, let's solve question 35. We have the diagram for question 35, and the diagram shows triangle PQR. So we have this triangle being inscribed in a circle. PS is a tangent to the circle at point P, and we should find the angle PRQ. So we are looking for this angle PRQ. Let's call it X. Now we notice that it is a triangle. Okay, so we understand that the sum of angles in a triangle is equals to 180 degrees. So if we can know the angle of PQR, let's call it Y, we'll be able to find X by saying that X plus Y plus 58 degrees is equals to 180 degrees, using the principle that sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. So in that principle now, in this case now, what is Y? If we look closely now, we have a segment in this side, and we also have another segment in this side. Now from circle geometry, there is a principle of alternate segments. So from alternate segments, we have that this angle 73 degrees is equals to Y. So Y is equals to 73 degrees. So Y, let's write it somewhere. is equals to 73 degrees with the principle of alternate segments. So with this, we can now evaluate our x. So let's substitute our y. So x plus y, 73 degrees plus 58 degrees is equals to 180 degrees. So x plus 131 degrees is equals to 180 degrees. So our x is equals to 180 degrees minus 131 degrees. And this will result into 49 degrees, which is equivalent to option A. So we can see we move from alternate segments to sum of angles in a triangle. WAEC 2022 objective question 36. We have a diagram representing the question, and in the diagram, triangle MNR is inscribed in the circle MNR. So we have a triangle also inscribed into the circle. All right, so let's listen further. And PQ, that means we have PQ to be a straight line. Note that PQ is not a tangent. Now if angle MRN, that means this angle is 41 degrees, and angle PMR, that means this angle is 141 degrees, we should find angle QNR. So we are looking for this angle. Let's call it X. So in view of this, let's now determine how do we get X. If we look closely, for us to get X, we have to know the value of Y, so that X plus Y will be equals to 180 degrees, because we will apply the principle of sum of angles on a straight line. Now to get the value of Y, we have to know all the values in the triangle. So that means we have to know this Z, such that Z plus Y, okay, plus 41 is equals to 180 degrees. Let me just copy this and move it outside. Now with that, we can evaluate our value of Y, and for us to get Z, we have to know that Z plus 141 degrees is equals to 180 degrees, which is the sum of angles on a straight line. So let's go backwards. We solve for Z, moving to Y. From Y we'll get X. So let's begin. And we're using black. So let's begin with Z. Z plus 141 degrees is equals to 180 degrees. The reason here is the sum of angles on a straight line is 180 degrees. So with that, Z will be equals to 180 degrees minus 141 degrees. So we have Z to be equals to 39 degrees. So with that, we have Z to be equals to 39 degrees. Now let's find the value of Y. We are going to look for the value of Y using this principle. Z plus Y plus 41 degrees is equals to 180 degrees. So we are going to consider triangle, let's say triangle NMR. So we are saying that Z plus Y plus 41 degrees is equals to 180 degrees. What's the reason? The reason is that the sum excuse me, sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. So in view of that, let's make our substitution of Z, or let's just duplicate this and we'll substitute the value of Z. Duplicating this, we have Z to be equals to 39 degrees. So with that, we can calculate Y. So Y will be equals to 180 degrees minus 39 degrees minus 41 degrees. So we have y sorry, to be equals to 100 degrees, because 39 plus 41 is equals to 80 degrees. Now with that done, we have y to be equals to 100 degrees. Now you just have to find the value of x, which is the question, using x plus y is equals to 180 degrees. So x plus y is equals to 180 degrees. And what is the reason behind this? The reason is that the sum of angles on a straight line is equals to 180 degrees. So with this, substitute our y to be 100, and we'll have our x to be 180 degrees minus 100. So we have x to be 80 degrees, which is equivalent to option B. Remember that x in itself is the value for the angle of Q and R. So if you look closely to the diagram now, we moved from evaluating Z. Okay, before then, x is equals to 80 degrees. Final answer. So we move from evaluating Z to y to x, which is option B. Now let's proceed on to objective 2022 question 37. The question says we should solve the inequality, and the inequality states that y plus 2 divided by 4 minus y minus 1 divided by 3 is greater than 1. So how do we solve inequalities? We just take this one as equals to, and then we proceed further. Now to solve this, now we take the LCM. The LCM here is 12. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. 3 multiplied by 5 plus y plus 2. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So we have minus, this minus here, minus 4 multiplied by y minus 1. Just as we take LCM. And now we can cross multiply. So we have 3y plus 2 minus 4 into y minus 1 is greater than 1 multiplied by 12 is simply 12. So let's open up the brackets. So we have 3y plus 6 minus 4y plus 4 greater than 12. So 3y minus 4y is minus y, and plus 6 plus 4 is plus 10 greater than 12. Let's move this. Okay, we want to move this guy. Good. So with this, we have to move plus 10 to the right hand side. So we'll have minus y is greater than 12 minus 10 minus 10. And so we have minus y to be equals to 2, to be greater than 2 rather. Now we want to do something interesting in inequalities. In inequalities, whenever we divide both sides by a negative number, the sign, the inequality sign will change. It will change to, if it is less greater than, it will change to a less than. Assuming it was a greater than or equals to, it will change to a less than or equals to. If it was a less than or equals to, it will change to a greater than or equal to. So all these changes occur when we divide both sides by minus 1. So in this case, it's changing just to a less than. So we have this to give us y to be less than minus 2. So y is less than minus 2 is the final answer, which is equivalent to option B. Now we want to solve question 38 and 39 together, because As we can see, they both have the same data sets. So question 39 and question 38. The only difference is that question 38 asks us to find the lower quartile and question 39 asks us to find the mean. So now let's focus on question 38 now. The data set says the ages in years, okay, of some members in a singing group are 12, 47, 49, 15, 43, 41, 13, and 39, 43, 41, and 36. And we are asked to find the lower quartile. So now in this case, the first thing we are going to do is to rearrange these data sets in ascending order. So we start from the lowest, which is 12, and we proceed further. So we have 12 followed by 13. After 13 we move to 15. From 15 we move to 36. From 36 we move to 39, and from 39 we move to 41. Okay, so we have 241 followed by 43, and we have 243, and then we move to 47, finalized by 49. Now if you count the number of times here, this will be 1, 2, okay, let's count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that means we have n to be equals to 11. Now let's focus on the first question, question 38. The question says we should find the lower quartile. Now when it comes to quartile, lower quartile, upper quartile, or even median, we'll have the answer as the position among the data sets. So let's look at lower quartile. We have upper quartile, okay, and also the median. So lower quartile is given as 1/4 of n plus 1 position, and upper quartile is given as 3/4 of n plus 1 position, and the median is 1/2 of n plus 1 position. So let's focus on the lower quartile so that we'll understand these concepts better. So lower quartile now, lower quartile of the data set is equals to 1/4. The n is equals to 11, so 1/4 of 11 plus 1 position. So this is 1/4 of the 12. So this will give us the third position, because 12 divided by 4 is third, so we have the third position. So in view of that, we go back to the data set excuse me, and from the data set we just count 1 to 3. So we have the first position, the second position, and the third position. So therefore we have the lower quartile to be equals to 15, which is equivalent to option C. Now this is very simple. So in the same vein, you can just pause the video now and try to evaluate the upper quartile. So let's do that together. Upper quartile is 3/4 of n plus 1, that's 11 plus 1, that's 12. Okay, there's 11 plus 1, that's 3/4 of 12. So 3/4 of 12 is what? Is the ninth position. Ninth position. So therefore we continue this positioning. So this is the fourth, we have the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth, the ninth. So indirectly we are saying that the upper quartile is 43. So we'll tag this as upper quarter. So that's interesting. And we can also evaluate the median. The median will just be 1 over 2 of 11 plus 1, and that is 1 over 2 of 12. Okay, let's rewrite this. 1 over 2 of 12, which is the 6th position. So the 6th position is 41. So we'll call this the median. Now we are done with question 38. The answer is 15. Let's move further to question 39. Question 39 is very simple. Question 39. The question says we should find the mean. Now, mean is the formula that gives summation of the x terms divided by the number of terms. So let's apply it. So this mean will be equals to sum of everything that we have here. So we can just take all the values together. We duplicate, and then we come to the next page where we have the mean. So we put something here. Okay, let's just rewrite it. Question 39. We have that the mean is equals to summation of x divided by n. So this is the data set. So the mean will just be equals to everything summed together. Now we are not considering the arrangement, and if you still want to consider the arrangement, it's fine, but it doesn't matter in mean. So it will be 12 plus 47 plus 49 plus 15 plus 43 plus 41 plus 13, okay, plus 39 plus 43 plus 41 plus 36, everything divided by what? N is equals to 11 divided by 11. So the numerator now is summed up to give 379 divided by 11, and we will have our mean to be equals to 34.45, which is equivalent to option C. WAEC 2022 objective question 40. The question says you should find, correcting it to 2 decimal places, the volume of a sphere whose radius is 3 centimeters. So the radius is 3 centimeters, and the question we should ask ourselves is, what is the formula for the volume of a sphere? So volume of a sphere is equals to 4 over 3 pi r cubed, where r is equals to the radius and pi is equals to 22 over 7. So all we just have to do is just to substitute our values. So volume will be 4 over 3 multiplied by pi. We are given pi to be 22 over 7, and we are given the radius to be equals to 3. So 3 raised to the power of 3. So if we simplify this further, this will be 4 over 3 multiplied by 22 over 7 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. So we'll have a 3 nullifying a 3 here, and we will have 4 multiplied by 22 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3 divided by 7. So the numerator is 792, and this will be equals to 113.1438. The unit is centimeter cube. Now, if we look at the question says we should correct to 2 decimal places. So we have to correct this to 2 decimal places, which is at this point. So we'll have 113.14 centimeter cube, equivalent to option D. So all we just did is to apply the formula for the volume of a sphere.